Another theme in The Assurance that I found interesting was that of gender. Typically, fantasy movies are stories about men, written by men, for male audiences, but because this is an independent short, I have more freedom to explore variations on the traditions of that genre. And in this case, actually, I was inspired by Linda Weinman, the co-creator and namesake of lynda.com. Years before I was an author here, I was a subscriber, and I've learned so much through the years. So I think it's really fitting that there's a fantasy movie that defies genre conventions and is essentially about a woman that saves the world by sharing her knowledge, kind of like an exaggerated metaphor of lynda.com itself. And also, to emphasize the theme of gender, we made all of the other named characters in the film male. We also made those male characters a little villainous, with the exception of the preacher, who was intended to be a shadow character. Now, normally I think it's a little ridiculous to make everyone of a certain gender, race, or religion completely good or completely evil. That's just not realistic and it feels preachy. I only did it here because of the extremely male leanings of the fantasy genre. A large percent of fantasy films are about groups of men saving the world, so let's have 8 minutes of a couple of sisters doing it. I loved messing with the gender stereotypes in The Assurance. But in all the screenings of this film, I haven't gotten the impression that anyone has noticed the role of gender in the movie. So apparently, no one cared or thought it was interesting, but I did. And that's kind of the great thing about themes. They don't have to be really obvious. They can be subtle and unnoticed by everyone but you. And like gender in The Assurance, they can be a fun thing for you to explore and help you to feel more engaged with the story that you're telling.